Welcome back to Rehabilitation Revelations World. I'm Chase.
And I'm Christopher. Hey guys, today we have Mr. Matt Billions on, the first billionaire we've ever had on.
Like the money.
Yeah, like the money. We got the money man on.
I wished.
Yeah, we do too, so you can donate.
Right. It'd be a good cause to go with.
Yeah, absolutely. But man, we appreciate you coming here today to share your story with us. To hopefully help some people out there to really, I don't know, relate to you. Help spread the message and everything. Because I know it's on a Sunday. You could be taking a nap or laying in the bed or whatever else you're doing, man. But we appreciate you being here with us and spending your time today. But really, you saw how it went before. We'll kind of go into that. Really, just kind of tell your story and where you're at, where you've been, and where you're going, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, growing up, I thought what I had was a normal relationship with my family. Come to find out, my dad was a drug addict. Started getting high with my dad. Over the years, I have come to find out that more people get high with their family and their parents even than what you would think, right? So that I used to think I was unique for that, and where I've been, 20 years of drinking and drugging, in and out of jail. I counted up my arrests. There was 12 arrests. Started getting arrested at 18. You know what I mean? Like due to drugs and alcohol, right?
Yeah.
Like all my arrests were due to drugs and alcohol. Yeah. But yet I didn't have a problem, I thought. Even though everybody around me was telling me, man, you may need to quit drinking. Like Rob said, he could hide it. Shit, I couldn't hide it. Yeah. Everybody knew I was drunk, or high. You could smell it on me. My mom's famous words for me always was, "You smell like a brewery." I mean, that's what she said, because I was. I woke up, I started drinking to calm the shakes, and then added opiates at a later date, and then started doing both of them simultaneously. So you could imagine the withdrawals with that. Terrible. You know what I mean? And that's what 20 years of my life looks like, As we sit here today, my sobriety date is February 20th of 2019. So that gives me about a little over five and a half years, something like that. I'm not a mathematician by no means. But I am a billionaire. I got a funny joke I could have said about my dad said he'd leave me when he died. It was just my last name and something else. But anyways, he left me absolutely nothing to say that. In fact, I had to pay for his funeral, thank God. One of the arrests, anyways, my probation actually helped pay off his funeral, man. Because father and son duo. He taught me the ropes of hustling to get money to get dope. You know what I mean? Yep. And was not a very healthy relationship. And then I get sober eventually. It wasn't the first time. I have gone in and out of detoxes, behavioral health, psych wards. You name it. Like I told y'all about how I got to Birmingham. I'm originally from Huntsville, Alabama. And you asked Rob earlier, I think you did, why did he come to Birmingham? He said a job. Mine was, I had nowhere else to go, and I had to go to treatment. Yeah. I went to a 28-day program over in West End, Birmingham, called Pearson Hall. And white boy in the hood, and the dope man's literally right beside you in a treatment facility. I had no idea that there was a way out. You know what I mean? For so long, I had no idea that drug addicts, first I didn't know I had a disease. That was the first thing, that I have literally a disease that when I put liquor or drugs in my body, God or a policeman is the only one knows when I'm going to stop, because I have no power over drugs and alcohol. And I didn't know that for a very long time. But as I get to this, my arrest, one of them, got me on probation, failed drug test, and the probation officer said, "You're either going to prison or you're going to treatment." Well, I had to think about it for a little while. Prison treatment. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do either. Yeah, I want to do drugs, right? I mean, that's really what I probably thought in that moment. But I do remember this. I do remember that I had to think about that answer. A normal person would be like, you need to go to treatment, not prison. But hell, I was fucked up in her. Excuse my language. I was tore up in her office as I failed the breathalyzer and drug test. My dad drove me to my probation officer drunk. She said, you need help. And I was like, no, I don't. As I'm intoxicated in her office, but I didn't have insurance, for so long, I didn't have health insurance. I couldn't hold a job. I couldn't hold a stable job to get health insurance. Y'all are too young to remember this probably, but I got kicked off my parents' health insurance at 18. Nowadays I think it's 25, 26, 26. Yeah. Right as I'm starting to pour liquor down my throat and start doing opiates, I'm kicked off my parents' health insurance, and I can't hold a job to get health insurance just so I can go to treatment. Yeah. It costs a lot of money just to go somewhere. Or if you find, thank God, I found these places that are state funded that, $100 to get in, or I think Pearson Hall was $200 to go in. And so I get in there and stay 28 days. They introduced me to the 12-step program. I had no idea what that was. And funny story, my dad picks me up from Pearson Hall, and I'm high within 10 minutes. He picks me up. I know where his medicine bottles are. I know his medicine bag, what's in there. And I'm in his medicine bag as soon as he goes to a McDonald's around the corner. And I'm backloaded again. That's that cunning, baffling, and powerful. Without help, it is too much for me. Because at that time, I wasn't ready. You got to want to stop. You know what I mean? Recovery is out there for everybody. It truly is. But you got to want to stop. That's the key. You got to want to do it. And, unfortunately, I sponsor a lot of men in 12 steps, and I go to a lot of meetings like Rob. I'm very active in Alcoholics Anonymous. And this is just how I have been able to stay stopped. You know what I mean? You can quit doing drugs and alcohol, but for how long? You have to find a sufficient substitute, right? And that's just been my experience. And that's for a lot of others too. Because I've tried every other avenue there is, and it just didn't work for me, or maybe I didn't work for it. You and Rob, when y'all were talking, you asked him a question about for the person that couldn't really buy and grasp the idea of a 12-step program. I have never once met one person that AA did not work for, but I have met a lot of people that did not work for AA. Yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah. You got to want to do it. You got to want to do the stuff. You got to want to do the self-sacrificing. You got to want to do the inventory. Y'all were talking about doing, talking to a sponsor or talking to a closed-mouth friend, whether it's a priest or anything. You got to want to do these things in order to stay stopped. That's been my experience. Yeah. And so far for 5.5 years, that has worked. Now, has it been perfect? Absolutely not. Yeah. I have a disease of I want more, right? I want more of anything, more money, more power, more right? Yeah, more everything. That's in me, and that's how I'm wired and framed. And if I'm not careful with that, I can go down a rabbit hole of just ungodly purchases or whatever, of anything, right? Anything. Whatever makes me feel good, because I still have that hole inside of me that I don't think that I'm good enough, and I don't think that, I'm trying to impress all these people that I don't like anyways. You know what I mean? So, I buy all this stuff just to impress somebody that I really don't care for anyways, but I want to, feel good. Instant gratification, my friend. Just what drugs and alcohol did. I'd rail that line of Oxy and chug that beer, and boom, instantly, I'm out of withdrawals. It's amazing how that can do. You know what I mean? It was an instant fix for me. And if I didn't have it, I was going to any length to get my drugs and get my alcohol. Yeah. And that's what a 12-step program has done for me too. It's made me where I can look the world in the eyes. I have gone back and made the amends to my mother, who before I went to one of the treatments, I got caught stealing out of her purse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm a trusted son now. Like I'm the golden son now. Actually, you may be honest about it. My brother, he's not one of us. He don't suffer from that, but he's a heavy drinker and he's had some mishaps with just drinking. He got caught. But the difference between me and him is I drink and go to work. He don't drink and go to work.
Yeah.
He can cut it off. I can't. And I know that about myself now.
Yeah.
And it took a long road before I was, willing to admit that I was powerless over alcohol, that I was powerless over drugs, that I was powerless, and that I needed a higher power in my life, who I do choose to call God. It looks different than what I grew up in. I grew up Southern Baptist, hellfire, brimstone. You know what I mean? You sin, you're going to hell. You know what I mean? Well, here's a news flash for you. God knows I'm a sinner, I promise. You know what I mean? So, it looks different than what it did as a child. Because when I come into recovery, I was mad at God. And after a lot of inventory and, who I was really mad at is myself for abandoning God. God never abandoned me. I abandoned God. I quit. You know what I mean? And drugs and alcohol was just a symptom of that, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I used to, man, I believe I was born with a disease of addiction and alcoholism. My dad is a proven fact that it is hereditary. And I've gone back. My dad was a drug addict. Both my grandfathers were alcoholics. I've gone through my family tree. Now there's other ways to, hit. I heard that. I watched this thing called the broken brain theory, and you can get hit in the head. You can get hit in the head, and it's about your neuro pathways and stuff. I'm not a doctor, but I've just listened to stuff like that because I'm curious about it.
Yeah.
I'm curious about why I am what I am, and then if I'm armed with the facts about myself, I can help others.
Right.
That's my primary purpose today.
Yeah.
I have a job, I have a career, yes, I have a wife, I have a child, I'm there for them, but also they know too that when somebody reaches out, especially we all have a common problem, right? The disease of alcoholism, drug addiction, and that brings in a brotherhood, right? Because I know what you've been through, I know what you've been through because I've lived it. And I'm the only one that is special, or, you can't take a normal person that has never been in the throes of addiction and alcoholism and come tell an alcoholic who's pouring liquor down the throat or snorting rocks up there or whatever, smoking crack, meth, whatever it is, and try to tell them what to do to stay sober. That just doesn't work. No, I have a degree in,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I have to continue this in order to stay stopped. I hope that answers some of your question. I get on my high horse with things, because I'm very passionate about it. Because it's given me a life that I never, ever thought I'd be able to live. I used to lay in my bed dope sick and wish I had the life that I have today.
Yeah. You used to dream about it.
Mm-hmm.
You used to talk about it. I'm going to get sober one day. And I could, Chase knows this, when I went this recovery last time, man, I was in a bad way, dude.
Yeah.
In a real bad way. And just being dope sick, and literally you're fighting minute by minute.
Hell yeah, second by second.
Yes.
I mean,
second by second.
you just don't want to live, really. I mean.
And it's so, I could not. You can ask him, we had to walk to go get dinner, right, from the dorms.
Uh-huh.
And we had this thing called, it was an annex. It was kind of halfway. I'd have to stop in the annex and sit down on a couch for a few minutes. Just to, and it wasn't that far, probably 100 yards.
Right.
And this was 10 days, 2 weeks into it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I never, in that moment, I never thought that it was going to get better.
No, not at all.
And it was hard for me to and without guys like Chase and guys who've been through what we've been through to say like, buddy, there's nothing I can tell you right now that's going to make this better.
Not at all. There's nothing you can tell somebody in that state of
this
nope.
state of mind and
Nope.
what you're feeling. There's nothing I can say or do to say to make you feel better. but I'm saying it will get better.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly like when the time is to say, oh, it gets better on day 10, day 14, day 12. I don't know.
It's different for everybody.
It's different for, I don't know when I can't objectively tell you a time, but I'm telling you this though. One thing I do know, you continue to do these things, you will gradually start walking out of hell.
Yeah.
You know, and
we've been through hell.
Yeah, and some people they have a long way to go to get out of it. Again, it's different for everybody.
It is.
I had to learn because everybody's like, "Oh, after 5 days, I was good." I was like, "Bro, it's been 6 weeks, and I'm still getting post-acute withdrawals."
Yep.
You know, I'll be talking like, and then I'm shivering, sweating, thinking I'm about to crap my pants.
Yeah.
And have to go to the bathroom.
Been there. Now I know what that feels like and looks like. You know what I mean? Like and that's the reason why I kept going back to the drugs and alcohol. That would fix me, right? That would keep me from going through these withdrawal symptoms. Yeah. And you know, what a shitty way to live. No pun intended, but I mean, it really is. And like I said, though, for so long, I just did not know that there was a way out. The only thing I knew about treatment was the commercial of the Passages of Malibu commercial you would see on the commercials. You know what I mean? Because it's not like, well, really?
Like a place very similar.
Right. Like acupuncture and all the beautiful beaches and all that. I wished I could have went to that. Yeah.
I didn't get dope sick one time at this place.
See, you just proved my point. All right, you just proved my point.
It feels so good. I was like, I don't want to leave.
Right. Like, can I just live here? You know, I don't want to deal with the world.
Later, I didn't feel good when I left this place.
Right.
I think I understand what you're doing here. You know?
That's great. Yep. Somebody told me a long time ago that you can get sober in a ditch if you want. If you want to,
you really can. It really is. But I can. Again, I can't speak for anybody, but I know I've been to 7 different recovery places. I've been to multiple detoxification centers. I've worked the 12 steps. I did a bunch of different things. But I guess I wouldn't say my rock bottom, but for me, it was a place that my life sucked so bad. I had 2 options. It was to die or to be sober. Yeah. That was what it was. I was literally at that crossroad because when I tell you this, I'm not exaggerating when I tell you this. I've been Narcaned by every municipality in the Metro Birmingham area. I was Narcaned by Birmingham Fire Department, the same station within 24 hours. You know? Yeah, no. I still didn't learn my lesson.
Fentanyl?
Yeah, fentanyl.
Yeah. That's killing. Thank God I stopped before any of that. Yeah. I mean, literally, especially with the way they're doing the pills now, like they're making fake, stamp pills. Yeah, pressed pills. Yeah. I mean, it's in everything. Like we talked about, weed, cocaine. I mean, everything.
Like that's where I'd be going out. I started drinking. I want Coke.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
And that's every time, and usually every day. So
yeah. Right. Yeah, it sucks having two drugs. Yeah. Right.
You don't ever think about that because
no.
Now. You want to get up, or you want to figure out a way to get home, or at least be semi-coherent.
Right.
And now you do a line and you're dead.
Right.
And you're dead.
And I'm not trying to make a joke about this, but like used to, you could go out and y'all could get an 8-ball of cocaine and do cocaine with your buddies and have a good time. Now one of y'all die.
Yeah.
It's a real like one of 4 people do it. Like one of y'all might die.
No, you're absolutely correct. Just like that story in Florida.
Cocaine, but I'm just saying it's not a fun party drug anymore like it used to be.
Not at all. Not at all.
The game has definitely changed. But no, I wanted to ask you this: at what point in your life did you say, like, bro, this sucks. Like, this is miserable, and I have to do something different than what I've been doing? At what point? Or was it a gradual point? Or was it, because we've talked to enough people, Chase. They're like, man, this is when I realized I have to get help or I will die.
You know, to be quite honest, I don't know if I ever had that.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime that I ever made it to a treatment facility or anything else, it was forced for the most part. You know what I mean? Like I said earlier, the probation officer said it's either prison or detox or rehab. So I'll give you a little fast forwarded a little bit. 2015. I'll never forget this. Alabama and LSU was playing, and I'm laying in my mom's upstairs bedroom, which used to be my bedroom, with my brother, and I'm watching the football game, and I don't know. I had something. It had to be God. It really did. It had to be something. And I remember telling my mom I need to get back because I'd already been to this halfway house a couple of times. It's out in Bessemer, and I was like, I got to get back down there somehow. Yeah. I got to. So we made a phone call that next morning, and I drove my little busted car from Huntsville down to Bessemer, and I made it. But that's the only time that I can say that I actually said that I want to do this. You know what I mean? Like every other time or every time else, it's been that you either do that or you're going to lose your freedom pretty much. And even then, that was in 2015, and I had 3 knee surgeries in 2018. And you know what they give you for yeah, you know what they give you for that. So pain medicine. And here's the funny part about addiction. You know, for me, I can only speak for me, but I bet it can work for y'all as well. That your brain cannot differentiate whether you buy the dope from the dope man or if you get a prescription from a doctor. It doesn't. I know, right? I thought just because I was getting a prescription that I could handle it like a man. And I can handle it. Well, I'm here to report that is false. And once again, a couple of more treatments, and then another one, and then I'm back at the same halfway house that I started at, initially in 2015. I had to go there because I wanted to go there. That I guess that would be one of the other things too, because I could have went back to where I was living at, but I packed everything up, put it in a storage unit, and moved into this halfway house because I know I needed to have some accountability to re-enter life. Because I've come to find out that I don't trust myself early in recovery. I have to have some kind of accountability somewhere, some kind of structure, or I'll just do whatever. And this place that I went to in Bessemer gave me that. The camaraderie of other people. You meet a lot of people in treatment, right? And then you get a treatment, and then y'all all go y'all separate ways. Well, right. Here you have some accountability, and you build relationships, and it's kind of like high school all over again.
Yeah, I mean that's where that's kind of where me and Chris met. So and I gained and developed a freaking brother. So it's like, and we still talk to. Some, but like you said, a lot of people go separate ways, and but I try, I feel like we try to keep up with as many as we can, or that allow us. So and because it is, man. I mean, once you go through things with those people, especially living in the middle of nowhere with 70 dudes. You get close.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Whether you like it or not.
And I tell you what, I never want to do that again.
No. I learned a lot.
I learned a lot. Don't get me wrong, but now that I've had a little taste of what normalcy might be for somebody like me that used to wish to have the, leaves in my swimming pool problems is what my sponsor says now. Yeah, a productive member, paying tax member of society. Who ever thought a drug addict, alcoholic like me would ever attain sobriety, hold a career, and get married and stuff like that? Yeah, I mean, definition of successful. Yeah, absolutely. I always play that joke. I go to treatment facilities every month and speak. Hell, I should. I'm an alumni to every one of them, just about. But I do. I go and I give back and I talk to these guys that's been sober 10, 15 days. It's up in Warrior,
Yeah.
and
From where?
yep.
Is that
My wife's from Warrior.
Yeah. Is that what you're
Actually,
talking about?
yep. My wife lives her property's about 5 minutes from that Arkadelphia road that you turn onto. On Warrior Robbins Road. Yep. Yeah, her property's right there. But anyways, so I go up there and I speak a lot because I used to never talk in meetings or anywhere. I was so shy, but I feel now that God's given me a gift. And I always make that joke that, I love y'all. I love coming back up here, but here's the difference between me and you. I'm going to go home to a permanent address that I wished I had. And, but here's the good news. All y'all can start that right. Y'all can start right now.
Yeah.
But you gotta want it. That's the key right there. And I'll say that till I'm blue in the face. Because I used to go to treatment facilities just as like you said, a vacation, just to get the hell away, just to start. I don't know what was it. I ran out of money a lot. That happened to me a lot. I ran out of money and I was dope sick. And I was like, well, I'll just duck off into this. I'll go tell them I'm going to kill myself in this hospital. Yeah, right? Yeah. Brookwood, UAB, you have to take, right? I always would do that just because I didn't have no, and I've done that so many times. And that's why I do everything that I do because I don't want to go live with 50 other men again.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons, because I mean, it sucks. It really does. But it's good for the ones that need it in that moment.
Yeah.
But I've done it enough that I know I don't want to go back.
Yeah, it humbles you.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
it does.
Really humbles you. Man,
it does.
Because, and that's part of the reason why we do this too, is because of that, is to show people you might have to go through those things.
You got to go through hell to get to the other side.
Yeah, because the Malibu passages
isn't
going to get you there.
No, hell no.
For some, I don't know. But, you're the most valuable lessons you're going to learn is that complete darkness. Yeah. Because you're going to learn in that moment you never want to be there ever again. You never want to feel that ever again. But you have to want to not.
Because you cannot give somebody the gift of recovery. And here's why. We would take advantage of it and we, manipulate it or whatever. We have to walk through our own personal experience to get to where we're at. Everybody has their own journey, right? And the journey is a lifelong process. You cannot wish away drug addiction and alcoholism. No matter how hard you want to. You cannot wish that away. I used to, I was a professional, I'll quit tomorrow kind of guy. You know what I mean? Just, I'm going to wish this. Yeah. I'm going to quit tomorrow. I'll do anything tomorrow. I'll go to treatment tomorrow. I'll do whatever tomorrow. As long as it's tomorrow. Never right there in this moment. And that's my whole purpose. I believe in life is to give people hope. Kind of, what y'all are doing with this podcast, and why I go and talk so many places and do what I do is because for so long, like I said earlier, I just did not know that there was a way out of this, or the drug addiction and the alcoholism.
It's not an easy way out either.
Hell no, it's not.
It's not an
easy way. It can get worse, never better. You know what I mean? Drug addiction gets worse, never better. Because, them treatment facilities that we've been to and everything, and then going and getting high again, that's the right. Yep. And I got a wife now. I never got married until about 2 months ago. Women always found out about my drug addiction and alcoholism. So who wanted to be around that, right? And I got a kid now, and I have responsibilities, and that can be a lot of pressure for somebody like me, but she's very supportive. God couldn't have given me a better woman than that, for real. Lord knows I don't know if I deserve it, but I got it,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, we all deserve it, but like Rob said too, it's that shame.
Yes.
It's the guilt. It's that we're, in our minds, how we're wired is we don't feel like we deserve that. But we do.
Right.
And everybody does. But how we're wired and the the walk we've walked and the things we've done that were so shameful, we don't ever feel like it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I feel like it more today because I learn a lot about myself and I know now I deserve more. I can do more.
Yeah.
I deserve a good wife. I deserve things, but I also have to put out what I,
Yeah, you have to
what
work
I
for it.
get.
It's just not. And going off of that thought, man, so many times I would relapse. I go to treatment, I get back, and I'm like, all right, guys, I'm sober. I'm good now. And I wanted the trust back. I wanted all these things back. And it took me a long time to realize this. Like, you just don't get those. You have to go out there and prove it day in, day out, day in, day out. Because look, I don't know about y'all, but I lied a lot.
Oh, absolutely.
I did a lot of things I shouldn't have done. I did a lot of things I shouldn't do. So coming from a different perspective and then hearing those people and being open, like, all right, like, let's have a conversation. Them telling you how you hurt them, you're like, Jesus, But still, a lot of those things, like with my family and with other people, like if I have too much caffeine or something, and I'm just kind of like, I know there's an inkling because my mom said, she's like, did he get something? And it's always there, and it's my own fault. Like, I can't be mad at her for feeling, because so many times I was sober for 18, 20 months, and then boom, I was right back off again. How many times have I relapsed? And they wanted to trust me. They did start trusting me again, and I just burned them all.
Yeah.
20 years of drinking and drugging to make a skeptic out of anybody. Anybody.
And I have to, because I talk about Chase about this all the time. It's like, I want all these things that I've lost. It's like, I just want them back tomorrow. I want them back now. Like, I'm working hard now. I'm paying my taxes for once, and I'm doing the right things now. So I want these things back now. That's not how it works. And you know what? And if I did get it back, I could wish this back for some. I could wish these things back, and I could get it. You know what? I wouldn't appreciate it.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Because that has been given back to me multiple times before, and I didn't, because I never really had to go to those dark places.
Yeah.
Have those hard conversations and do the real work that I needed to do. And if that's what it took, I'll say this. If that's what it took for me to be in this position today, not that I ever have attained it or never got it or whatever, it's a constant work. It's a constant grind.
Mm-hmm.
But if that's what it took for me to realize these things that I needed to realize, you know what? It's worth it, man. Because you know what? We're sitting on this couch. I know you know. There's a lot of people that don't have the opportunity to be sitting on this couch.
Absolutely not.
They're up under the ground right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Your aunt don't have the opportunity. Your mom don't have the opportunity to talk to them like you have the opportunity. Same way with all of us. And that's something, when I start thinking and getting in my head and going down that rabbit hole, reel myself back in and ground myself. Like, you know what? You still in this fight, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Every day for the rest of our life.
Yeah, I'm still in this. Because for the longest time, I wasn't in it.
Yep.
I wasn't in it. I didn't want to be in it, But and sometimes I don't want to be in it now, per se,
Oh, no, I'm not inspired at all times. You know what I mean? Like, I have days where I get up and things are still bothering me from the day before, It's that self-centeredness that we have in us, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't get my way yesterday. How dare you treat me like that?
Yeah.
And I wake up the next morning and I'm just like, that mother, you know what I mean? And I just don't want to, sometimes I just don't want to get out of bed. I mean, it's just that disease is still there, right? And that's why I have to treat. It's like a diabetic with insulin, right? They have to take their insulin, or they'll go into a diabetic coma, or they'll go into a diabetic shock, or whatever. I'm an alcoholic. I'm a drug addict. I have to wake up every day and treat my drug addiction and alcoholism.
Yeah.
Every single day. Some days are better than others. You know what I mean? I used to have bad decades. Now I have a bad day. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Yeah. That's just the truth. I mean, it's so true though. Now I might have a couple bad days. And all it is the bad days is just me not getting what I want. or I'm in fear of losing something that I've already gotten.
Yeah.
You know, just it's that king baby syndrome. I don't know if y'all heard of king baby. It's basically just not getting my way. I'll act like a 4-year-old that didn't get his way, and I'm gonna take my toys and go home, and I don't want to play with y'all no more. I'm a 40-year-old grown ass man, and I still act like that.
Man, my grandpa said it the other day, and I kind of like it took me for surprise. And he's like, well, you know, like going through what I've been going through. He's like, you're 30 going on 15.
Yeah.
And I was like,
and that hurt your feelings, didn't it?
Yeah. And I was like, what do you mean by that? After a minute, I was like,
it's the truth, though. It is.
It is. Because once you explain it, and I was like, you're right.
Because I've learned this too. With a drug addiction and alcoholism, dude, my neck is killing me. I'm sorry.
Do you need to take a break?
No, I'm good. But you know, I hear this, and this rang true with me, and it might have with y'all, is that once we start abusing drugs and alcohol at that early age, for me it was 15.
Yeah, mine was like 14, 15.
So when I get sober, I still have that mind frame of that 15-year-old. You know what I mean? Like it stunts your growth, your mental growth, right? And it usually, a friend of mine, he's the guy that does the broken brain. He said it takes about not Tim Hilton. You know, Tim passed. Yeah, Robbie Keeble does.
Okay.
A good friend of mine. Tim got it from Robbie, actually.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But anyways, I knew Tim very well too. But it takes about 2 years for your brain, you know, of actively working on yourself to restore itself. You know, but you're still going to be hypersensitive the rest of your life for the most part. You know, you have to treat me extra special just for me to feel equal. You know what I mean? Like that's just how it is with me. You can't just be regular nice to me. You got to, you know, put me on this, I wouldn't say pedestal, but you just got to treat me extra special. I know, right? Not everybody thinks like me, you know. That's unfortunate.
I'm different.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm special. Yeah. I mean that. Yeah. We all have that same, and they say it's alcoholism, but we have that same thinking, though, right? And a lot of mine stems from just not feeling like I'm good enough. That's what it really does. I still fight that. And I know a lot of people that's been sober longer than me that's actively working on themselves through whatever they do. And it's something that doesn't go away all the way necessarily, but it does get better. Does that make sense? And then it also can get worse too if you quit actively working on yourself.
I was going to say, for me, man, it kind of hit home. It's like never feeling good enough. But what I found out, it's intrinsic for the fact of that I cannot, other things outside of me cannot give me self-worth. My car, my job, all these things.
I know.
They make me feel good. I like having a nice truck. I like having a nice house. We all
material things.
Yeah, I like having money in the
bank.
I
mean, who don't?
We like those things. I'm saying when we get down to it, my innate self-worth does not come from those things.
Right.
It comes from this and this. Yeah. You know? So it's not like if I'm nice to somebody and they're not nice back to me, you know, it kind of pisses me off or like hurts my feelings or whatever you want to say. Man, that dude's a jerk. But it's not like that's going to affect who I am. You know, I cannot let it affect who I am.
But I still do, though, sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that still crops up. Even, you know, somebody's an asshole to me or something like that. And then I take it personal because I'm hypersensitive. Hypersensitive to a core. You know what I mean? Like, you will hurt my feelings if you don't treat me extra special. I know. And you know.
I talked about this. We had the one with just us, and I was like, I'm just going to say it. I'm freaking sensitive.
Yeah, I am.
Like the most dumbest things.
I know.
Freaking get me, dude. And I'm like, why am I like this, dude? Like, I can't stop. Like, and then you try to like work it out, and you're like, try to be a man, and you're like, this didn't work either. Like, I'm like, I can't do this. Sorry, that really wasn't me. But
I try not to retaliate now, right?
Yeah.
Like, I get this at work all the time. Work with a bunch of men, right? And they're just shooting the shit, your mama this or whatever. I used to get so mad at that. I'd get so offended because I felt like it was true. Now it's gotten better, but now I don't take it so personal and offensive, and I don't walk away with that resentment all day long that I'm gonna burn this truck down. You know what I mean? Like, so. But it has gotten a lot better, but it's still there, man.
Yeah,
it really is. That we're like childlike people, right?
Yeah.
Childlike thinkers, childlike in a lot of areas still. I joke and say this, 5 years and some odd change sober. So I think like a 17-year-old now instead of a 15-year-old, because it's still there. But there's been progress. Don't take that away from me. There has been a lot of progress in 5.5 years.
Yeah.
It really has. But I'm still human. We still have human tendencies. We still have human behaviors. Like y'all were talking about with the money and wanting the money and the job and all that. I've gotten all that. That feels awfully good. But if I'm not sober, I'm gonna burn that shit to the ground. All of it will go. The wife will go. The job will go. That $80,000 Tahoe will go. You know what I mean? Like, it's gone in an instant. I will burn it to the ground. I've seen me do it. I've seen others do it. Like, if I'm not sober and if I'm not in a constant state of recovery, then I don't have any of the rest.
Yeah.
I know that without a shadow of a doubt now.
And to me, I equate it like this. Those things are a byproduct.
Absolutely. Yep.
And again, it's different from, it could be 1 year, it could be 5 years. Again, I don't know, but those are the money will come. The good relationships, because when you start taking care of those things of your sobriety,
everything else comes.
It will start coming.
Sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. That is a true statement, especially for me. I'm a sometimes slowly kind of guy. I mean, it took what it took. But it's funny we brought this up. I was talking to my sponsor this morning, and he told me, he goes, Matt, don't you think God wants you to have nice things? Don't you want Conrad, which is my son, don't you want him to have nice things? Yeah, Tom, I do. Yeah. Well, don't you think God, you're his son, don't you think? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not all about the money and all that, but don't you think God wants you to have some of them things?
Yeah.
There's
nothing wrong with it.
Right. Look, there is when I make my life, my primary purpose is hustling and getting money. Yeah. When I forget where I'm come from and I go into that, and that's what happens to a lot of us drug addicts and alcoholics. We get sober,
you comfortable.
Yeah, we get a little comfortable. We get a little money in the pocket. We get a good job. We forget where we come from. We forget what our primary purpose is, and then forget that we're drug addicts and alcoholics, and then we forget that it's going to take over our lives again. Mm-hmm. That's what happens a lot, and then if we're lucky, we may get back into a treatment facility. If we're lucky, yeah. Yes. A good friend of mine says we are the lucky ones.
Yeah.
And he's been sober 22 years, and he tells me that all the time. Every time I pick up a yearly chip, he says, now the real work begins. And then another one is it's we are the lucky ones, because not everybody gets a second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth chance, But yeah, when I forget that I'm a drug addict and an alcoholic, and I put these things in front of my recovery, which it can be women, it can be anything that makes me feel good, that I no human power can restore me to sanity. No human power can keep me sober. It has to come from a higher power of whatever, you know what I mean? And like I know that now. But gosh, it took so long to realize that.
Yeah.
It's like my buddy Jim used to tell, Jim R., he died, bless his heart. He said, well, now, Matt, your head's popped out of your ass. He goes, you know what that loud boom was, right? That's your head popping out of your ass. Because it did. It literally popped out of my ass. And I'm like, okay, I want to be sober now. Because so long, I don't know if I just didn't care, or if I thought it was like Russian roulette, like I'm playing with this disease, right? And I could have died,
We call it MOT. It's MOT, baby. Matter of time.
It really is, and it's sad that the disease that we have, it's life or death. It really is, and some people are like, I'm sure before they take that hit of fentanyl, it'll never happen to me, and then it does.
Yeah.
That's it. You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
it's a lot of the times too, man. Like us, like I was the one, like you. I don't have a problem.
Yeah.
Like screw you.
I ain't got no problem.
Like to my family.
I'm living on my mom's couch, but I ain't got a problem.
Yeah. I live on a freaking.
Yeah.
I move out and I keep coming back to. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I got no problem.
I can't pay none of my bills, or I can't.
Yeah.
I'm not self-supporting. Yeah. I'm depending on a woman or a
$2 on a tall boy.
Dude, that brings back memories right there.
Like,
hell yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, I need gas.
Mom, I need gas.
I'll worry about that later.
Yeah.
And then you're stuck. But you had that tall boy.
Yeah. I know, and
then you start stealing.
Yeah.
More.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And it's like it's so to you people that actually care about you, dude. And it's like,
man, I put my mother. She's a saint, man. She really is. She just turned 70 last week, and I got to go up there to Huntsville and take her to lunch and pay for her lunch. I've gotten to do that a lot. Yeah. I've gotten to do things like when we went. Man, absolutely it is. Because it used to be every time we went anywhere. I remember I got out of jail one time and I moved back in with her. And she took me to Walmart that night because I didn't have a phone. I didn't have any clothes. I didn't have any deodorant. I didn't have, literally had jack shit. And she took me to Walmart that night because I'd been in county for 90 days. And she took me and bought all this stuff for me, right? For me to have a living, because I was moving back in with her. She thought I was going to be able to stay sober. Because I told her, I said, I met Jesus. I'm not, I swear I'm not drinking. I'm not going to do this ever again. You know what I mean? Like, this is spending 90 days in county jail, right? I moved back in with her, and then I met a guy in county jail, and me and him hooked up. First thing I did was got high. You know what I mean? I had no solution. I wasn't, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't, I don't know. I guess I hadn't wanted to actually really quit drinking and drugging. I've been on that vacation. And I was crazier and shit. You know what I mean? That's the thing about us drug addicts and alcoholics. When you take the drugs and alcohol out of our system, we become crazier. Eating up with resentment, eating up with just ourselves, anger, everything. All of that. And then that runs our life. And then no wonder we're back drinking and drugging because, hell, it feels better probably,
What's the solution? Like, I have all these problems. I don't know how to cope.
I don't know how to deal with it.
I don't even know how to deal with these, so let me just not deal with them and forget about them for this finite amount of time.
The big book talks about self will run riot, and I am a firm believer in that book.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, my life today is, unless you knew me, you know what I mean? So many years ago, it's quite a blessing. It really is.
Yeah.
It really is.
That's why we like doing this, man. Is like sitting down with like you, and actually being able to hear. We don't know you, but we kind of do now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's talk about self gratification, man. That's where we get it doing this.
Absolutely.
It's like what you do, going and speaking. It's the little things now.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the big things. Like my little wins, and I actually think about it nowadays. I'm like, man, this is awesome. Buying my $3,000 truck when I had a $40,000 truck before I went into rehab, and I had to sell it because I pissed my life away.
Yeah.
So but coming out and being able to buy that, working hard in a month,
Probably means a lot more.
Dude,
right?
See, I take care of that more than I did my $40,000.
Right. See, I'll tell you this. So it ain't always. I've had to work to where you know what I mean, to where I've gotten to today. Because that car I told y'all that I drove from Huntsville to Bessemer, Alabama, was about an $800 Honda Civic. That's the head was blown and it was overheating on me the whole way. You know what I mean? I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. You know what I mean? So to get a little taste of just things that I enjoy now, and it's because I have remained sober.
And I think really now you can really enjoy them.
Yeah.
You know, like honestly enjoy these things and how they add value to my life, and in a good way, not a bad way.
Right.
So you're able to use these things as a tool to add real enjoyment to your life now. I can go on vacation now and really enjoy the vacation.
Yeah, I have hobbies.
I'm gonna get
Yeah.
back in 3 days, or my dope ran out. I gotta.
My dope always ran out before I even got on my second day of vacation. And I never really got to go on vacation unless my mom ever paid for it to go with, because I didn't have the money to go.
Yeah.
I went on like
I haven't
two.
been on vacation in years, dude.
Yeah.
I haven't. And I was invited, but I didn't want to go because I couldn't do the things, or
Yeah.
I was broke. I mean,
No, I get it.
I'm like, I can't do that. You know what I mean? It's like, what am I can't do that. Or I'm not going to be able to go hang out with so and so to get some coke and for real, man. Like,
no, I get it.
yeah, I know you do. I'm just saying, it's people don't realize that the things that go through our mind. It's like, dude, why didn't you go to the beach this weekend? Well, let me tell you, it blows my mind. It's like, what? Until like I said, 15 years of it, it's like I missed out on so much because of an addiction.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like, that now is like my time where I try, can't do like everything, but I still make time. I still, to go do these little things sometimes, to hang out with family, to hang out, because
that's the stuff that right.
Because I didn't make the time because I was feeding this evilness, this darkness, to not spend time with the people that actually care about me, and and that's where I find myself now, is just doing small things to make up for all my bad decisions, and I can't make up sometime with some of them because they're dead.
Yeah.
And it sucks, and that's what eats you up.
It does. My dad passed away in 2016, and he always used to tell me, man, I just want you to have a job, and I want, you know what I mean? Like he was old school. He just wanted me to have a job. That was it, because I never could hold a job, man. Like never. I got fired from so many of going in smelling like a brewery and or could not pass a drug test. A lot. And now I do have that, and now I know he's watching over me. You know what I mean? Like I wrote him a letter, and I read it to him, and he didn't have shit when he died. I'm talking about when we cleaned out his apartment, man, he didn't have nothing. Maybe a recliner and a couple of shirts or something. But anyways, I have a couple of things in my office at work that were his. Like, and one of them's a cross, and one of them's a CD that he wrote on, and and I have his. We had to cremate him. I have his ashes in my apartment. We hadn't done anything with him. I just don't want to. I want to hold on to him. But I know today that he would be proud of who his son become. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think about him all the time. And now that I'm a father, you know what I mean? I want to be there for my son and be a role model for him, and, spend all the time I can with him. These the small things you're talking about that are really big in my eyes.
Yeah.
If I was not sober, I would not be doing. Being a son, I have a niece and a nephew. I love my niece more than my life itself. It's my brother's only biological child. And she's just gorgeous. Her name's Zoe. She'll be 6 in August. And, my dad didn't get to see her. And that's one thing I wish he would have been able to. But my mom, she loves that little girl more than her other her 2 kids, actually. And she's never seen me loaded. You know what I mean? Like I'm Uncle Matt to her, and she loves me more than her dad and mom, probably, because every time I'm around her, she's always hanging all over me, man. And the things that I get to do now that I sometimes pinch myself. Like, is this real? Like, if y'all could just seen where the fuck I have been in life. The homeless shelter, Salvation Army. I mean, just all these places I've been and lived, and the life that we, a lot of us have done, and to see somebody come out of that and to benefit, it's just something I never thought that would ever happen to me. Never in a million years. I have a permanent address. You know what I mean? I have a permanent address. It's on my license. You know what I mean? Like, I never had my own address on a license. You know what I mean? I didn't have a tag, or insurance on a vehicle. My license ain't suspended anymore. 10 years they were suspended because I had a warrant for my arrest. I mean, it's damn near. I want to write a book one day or something about it. Because so many people struggle from this.
Yeah, man.
So many people do.
Yeah.
And if it ain't you, it's somebody in your family, somebody you work with. So it's somewhere.
Pass by.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Man, this is why we do this.
Mm-hmm.
It's to let people know that you're not alone. You're not. You got that. More people struggle with it.
Yeah, you're not alone, and there is a way out.
Yes.
Whether it's a 12-step program that doesn't, they don't have a monopoly on it, but there is a way out. There's some avenue but you gotta want to do it. It ain't just gonna come to you. You're not gonna just come up and get bitten by the recovery bug.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is something that you have to want. And something that you have to work towards and work every single day. They say 1 day at a time. I laugh at that and say, hell, it's 1 minute at a time.
Yeah.
Or it's 10 minutes at a time. You know what I mean? It is a grind to stay sober.
I go to sleep, bro. I still have dreams.
Yeah. I've had some dreams.
I wake up so mad.
I'll wake up and think I'm high.
Yeah, dude.
And then I'm mad because I'm not high. I'm like, shit,
I wake up and I'm pissed.
Because look, here's the baffling thing about it. I didn't quit drugs and alcohol because I just all of a sudden quit liking the effects. Yeah. I still like the effects.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'd love to be able to take a Percocet right now to get this pain out, but I know that once I do that, I'm not going to be able to stop.
Yeah.
That's the cunning thing there. That I'm not going to be able to stop, and my life is going to go in the shitter again, right?
Yeah.
But anyways, I still, believe that I would like the effects produced by drugs and alcohol, but now I like the effects produced by sobriety.
Yeah, no doubt.
Sorry, y'all can get that on camera. That's fine. I got a pinched nerve in my neck, and it's driving me crazy. So they don't think I'm a hunchback of Notre Dame or something. But yeah, I always joke and say that drugs and alcohol. I didn't quit doing it because I just quit. I hated the consequences. I got tired of the consequences, the dope sickness, the in and out of losing my freedom. Not being able to be self-supporting and stuff. But the better way for sure is the life that I'm living today currently.
Yeah, man. No, I tell everybody, man, I never thought I would be this focused, feel this good, and it just how my life.
Well, drugs whooped your ass is what happened.
Yeah, I know.
You had to be beaten into that state of reasonableness,
Like, but once it's you get through that month or two, really for me it was even just being in the program. I was and then after that I still have to battle. I still battle through it. But it gets better with time. Like as everything does. But you're still, like you just said, you still have that in the back of your mind. Like now I know what real freedom feels like. Mm-hmm. And that I don't ever want to go back. Mm-hmm. I don't, because man, because you have to sometimes, everybody's like, oh, you don't have to bring up your past, but I have to, because I don't want to be that person anymore.
I use my past to help others.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about. That's what I was talking about earlier. Like when I sit down with an alcoholic or a drug addict, I have to use that past because I'm not. I know this for personal experience. I'm not going to listen to some PhD son of a bitch come tell me how to stay sober and that he knows what it's like because he ain't got a clue.
No.
He ain't got a clue. No psychiatrist that just goes and gets a degree. You know what I mean? Can sit down and win my confidence that I had to stay sober. Somebody like you, you know what I mean? Somebody like Rob has that experience and that can win my confidence over that there is a solution and a way out. You know what I mean? Because you've been there. You know what it's like. And I use my past to do that. You know what I mean? And we do it in comical too. I mean, who you gonna sit there and shoot the shit with and be like, yeah, I stole my mom's purse, stole a car, and went and totaled it, and it'd be funny, right? You try to go tell that to a normal person, they're gonna look at you like, what in the hell is wrong with you? You know? Yeah, right. But you say that around a bunch of drug addicts and alcoholics, they're gonna laugh their ass off. You know? I know. We have a dark humor, but it
helps me.
Yeah, I love it.
You know,
I love it. I think never mind. I ain't gonna go there. I think the more sick, the funnier it is.
Yeah. I mean,
yep. But yeah, definitely that past. I don't find that shame anymore in it. You know, because like I said earlier, I have made the amends necessary to the people that I have harmed. Because I robbed, stole, you know what I mean, wrecked other people's cars, lied. Yes.
But see, that's what like a lot of people too, man. Like I live this false persona with my life. People are like, man, I didn't know you had a problem. You know what I mean?
I wish people didn't know I had a problem.
Because I hate it, man. Like but I was somebody I wasn't.
Right.
You know, so like that was my a lot of people did.
Yeah.
But it's the other people like, you went to a program, what was wrong with you? You know what I mean? It's like, bro, if you only knew.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's the thing is like, you know, I don't know, man. It's I feel like because I don't judge, but it's just some people I see now, man. I wish they would just they would understand because it's like, bro, you don't have to live that life, dude. Like you don't.
That's the unfortunate part about the disease.
Don't have this problem. There's nothing we can do or say until they figure it out. You know, and all we can do is show love and like, you know, be there the best we can. But I can't be around you. But you know what I mean. So it's, I don't know, man. That's the hardest part about what we go through is the being able, you know, we want to do so much, but there's only so much we can do.
Yeah.
Sometimes we can't do anything.
Lead by example is about the only thing, and pray for them. You know what I mean? And if they ever reach out, you know, you have the hand there to help them. But, you know, there's going to be, as long as they're getting loaded, there's nothing you can do.
No.
I know people tried telling me, and I'll just...
Yeah.
Thousands of times.
Oh, thousands of times.
You know?
Yeah. I know.
As I'm doing.
I know. As I was going to the methadone clinic, and I went there for a couple of different times, and this counselor looking at me at this IOP my mom wanted me to go to as I was interviewing for it, saying, "You got a problem with methadone and other stuff," and I'm like, "No, I don't." You know, as I'm nodding out. Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah. No, I don't.
I'm just tired, dude.
Yeah. That's my favorite line. I'm just tired.
We got one dude that I don't think we put his out yet, but like he said he was in front of the police station, just like sleeping. He's
standing up.
Yeah.
The first time I ever saw that, my dad did that. He fell asleep standing up, and I video recorded it. That's the funniest shit ever. Falling asleep standing up. Yeah.
He fell asleep standing up.
Yeah.
Police station. He's like, how do you do that? Like, He's like, what?
Get high.
Ta-da!
Ta-da!
You
There it
owe me money now. Like,
Yeah.
This is a performance. Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Oh man.
yeah, man.
What a life it is though. You know.
Man. No,
But normal people wouldn't laugh at them kind of stories.
no, no. But you know, this the thing is like, as we sit here and talk, I hope people become that want to try to understand
Mm-hmm.
that you have to take yourself centered of you and not judge people because you don't know what people are going through
or dealt with.
Yeah, just because and I mean I don't think anybody's normal because them people that have it together, some of them the most miserable people on the planet.
I've talked to a million people.
Yeah,
that don't faze me. I don't care whatever show you want to put on when you close that door behind you.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean
that's not always
you say
the truth,
you're not an addict, but you go home just because you hate your life and your husband or your wife or something, and you're drinking 12 plus beers behind closed doors, or you're mad at your husband, you're drinking 6 glasses of wine or the whole bottle.
Or it don't have to be drugs. It could just be any, you know what I mean? Yeah. Anything else like that. You know, the way your life.
I didn't mean it like that.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. Like,
yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
Somebody.
I joke all the time and tell people that there's 7 billion people on this planet, and the 12-step program can work for all 7 billion people because humans, they walk around resentful, angry. You know what I mean? Like restless, irritable, discontent with it, whatever. You know what I mean? Like my wife, she gets angry. She's not a drug addict or an alcoholic. I see it in her. You know what I mean? I see the tendencies that if she had a sponsor to call or a closed mouth friend to call or a friend to call, somebody, she could work through these things, some kind of solution, whatever it could be. You know what I mean? Something at your church, something, or, just whatever it is that could help, So, yeah, I think everybody could use a 4-step and 5th step.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
I don't know. Just have to allow yourself to understand what you can. Some people just don't want to.
Yeah, that's it. Some people just don't want to. That's it. That's like I keep preaching and I keep saying, you gotta want to, So,
Gotcha. You got anything else, Chase?
I don't, man.
You got anything else you want to plug? You want to say?
Give it a try, whatever it is.
Doesn't have to be drugs or alcohol.
Yeah.
Mental.
Okay. Sorry. All right. Yeah, you can edit that. So give recovery a try. If you're struggling from whatever it is, that there are 1,000 ways to get sober. You just gotta want to do it.
Even mental health, man.
Yeah, mental health. That goes hand in hand with addiction and alcoholism. Whatever it is, give it a try. You'll never know until you try it. And I never know that I could get sober and stay sober without giving it a try.
Yeah.
I want to. That's right.
Matt, we appreciate you so much,
dude,
for coming on.
Oh, absolutely. I just had to walk across the street.
Yeah.
Coming over here.
Thank y'all for coming to me.
Yeah.
We appreciate everything. Hey, make sure y'all show him some love. Definitely check him out. Show him some love. Appreciate y'all for watching. Keep supporting us, guys. Please like and subscribe. And if you don't, that's cool too. Whatever you want to do. But we would like you to like and subscribe. Anyway, y'all have a good day. Have a great week. Appreciate y'all.
Peace.